Hello everyone, today based on the COMS textbook Power of Public Speaking, I will be discussing with you how to create a selective and narrow topic. So based on this abbreviation here, IPKIB, this will help you. The first one is going to be introduction and topic selection. You're asking yourself questions like, what is the occasion? Who is the audience that I'm speaking to? Two is going to be brainstorm and mind mapping. These are non-judgmental methods to make sure that those thoughts that you're thinking of flow onto the paper. And three is going to be your creativity. You need to be yourself when you're creating this speech. So incorporating that freedom of expression into your speech will really help. Four is informative topic ideas. What kind of title can I make that really informs people what I'm speaking about? The last one is going to be persuasive topic ideas, really clicking and being personal with your audience to make sure they are engaged.
The next step is to determine the purpose of your speech. The first way you do this is by determining the general purpose. The general purpose of your speech is the overall idea that you want to convey to your audience. The general purpose is much broader than the next part, which is determining the specific purpose of your speech. The specific purpose is the single thing that you want your audience to think about after your speech. The final part of determining the purpose of your speech is finding the central idea, and this is essentially your thesis statement. Once you get all of these parts, you can begin relating them all together and developing the central idea of your speech.
For this next part, we're going to be talking about how to develop a central idea or thesis of your speech. You want to begin by figuring out what you want the audience to think, feel, know, or believe, and do some research on it. This central idea is going to be the focus or thesis of your speech.
Now we're going to be talking about generating main ideas. For your speech, your main ideas are your body. You should have 2 to 5 main ideas. Having 2 or less, you're going to have too little information and you're going to be very repetitive. And having 5 or more, you're trying to cover way too much information in just a short period of time, and it's not going to make any sense to your audience. Your goal is to cover a small amount of information very adequately and in detail in order to have your audience grasp the full picture of what you're trying to talk about. Trying to write your introduction or conclusion without having your main ideas established is nearly impossible. It makes it so much easier if you have your main ideas established, and then you will be able to adequately write a conclusion and introduction. By researching information, statistics, and stories, your main ideas should support your thesis, central idea, claims, and any other supporting evidence that you might have.
I will be discussing how to gather supporting materials to overall benefit you in your speech. So to make things sweet and simple, I will concise it into 3 different parts. The first point is going to be relevance. So for example, let's say you're pitching an idea to your boss at a fast food restaurant on how you can make the speed of service faster. You don't want to go on a tangent about how you want to change the taste of fries, but you want to make sure that you are sticking to that point. Which moves on to the second point, clarity. Making sure that you're going into depth of the meaning on why you are speaking and what your end goal is. The last point, number 3, is going to be backing up your argument. You want to use examples, statistics, testimonies in order to make your overall argument stronger or to be more persuasive and make the audience more informed of what you're trying to do.
The next step is to organize your speech. The reason that you want to organize your speech is so it flows well and it's easier for your audience to follow and easier for you to remember. Here are a couple different ways to organize your speech. The first way is topical, meaning you break down your whole idea into topics or subsections and then talk about each section. The next way is chronological, which is talking about your speech in the order of time. The next is spatial, and this is helpful if you're talking about a specific object or a place and you want to start from the top down or bottom up. Next is compare and contrast, where you compare your idea to other similar ideas and explain how it's similar or different. Next is narrative or biographical, which is the story of someone's life. Then there's problem and solution, which is where you present the problem and then you present a solution to it. Then there's cause and effect, where you present the causes of a problem and then the effect of the problem. Finally, there's effect-cause, which is the opposite of cause and effect.
The next step we'll be talking about is rehearsing your speech. You should be practicing your speech often in front of people and in the room where you will speak if possible. Read your prepared outline out loud several times. You can use speaking notes if necessary to jog your memory of where your speech is going and of certain points you'd like to hit. Practice with your presentation aids so you can figure out how to effectively incorporate them into your speech. You can also time yourself to figure out if you're going along with the pace you should be going along with. Remember, a major key to success in delivering an effective speech is practice and having fun.
Finally, let's talk about your delivery. Now, when I say delivery, I mean your verbal delivery, nonverbal delivery, the location, how you practice, your nervousness, and the visualization. As far as your verbal delivery, there are 4 main types: manuscript, memorized, impromptu, and extemporaneous. As far as nonverbal delivery goes, you have to think about your movement, your eye contact, your facial expressions, and your appearance. When I'm talking like this, you're more likely to listen to me than if I were talking to you like this. See? When I say location, I just mean take into account where you're going to be delivering your speech. Is it on Zoom? Is it in the auditorium? Think about how loud you need to talk, where your audience is going to be sitting, and how you're going to be making eye contact. Practice and visualization go hand in hand. Visualize yourself giving your speech while you're practicing. And as far as nervousness, everybody's nervous. It's going to be okay.